Hello, today we will be setting up Gmail to pull our email from a CyVon email account. In order to do that, first we will log into our Gmail account. Here I am logged in as Bob Somebody on his Gmail account. The next thing we'll do is we will open a second tab and log in to our CyVon email account. In order to get to the CyVon webmail system, you can go to webmail.cyvon.com. Our username is going to be our entire email address. Our password is our CyVon email password. Here we can see we are logged into Bob Somebody's CyVon email. He has 3 messages in his inbox. We will now switch back to the Gmail tab. In order to start setting up the email pull, we will click the settings gear that is in the upper right hand corner. We will then click the settings menu option. And now we will click the accounts and import tab, and now under check mail from other accounts we will click add a mail account. Here we will put in our CyVon email address, in this case bob@cost-copy.com, and click next. This screen verifies that we will be using POP3 in order to pull the email. We will click next on this window. This window allows us to configure how that email pull will work. The first thing we have to fill out is the username. The username will be your full email address. The password will be your CyVon email password. You can leave the POP server and the port as the defaults. The next option is this leave a copy of retrieved message on the server. If you are going to be accessing your CyVon email using Outlook or Thunderbird or the webmail system as well as Gmail, then you will check that box. If you will only ever be accessing your CyVon email through Gmail, then leave that box unchecked. All the other boxes can be left unchecked. We will now click Add Account. In this case, we want to choose yes, I want to be able to send mail as bob@cost-copy.com. On this screen, we need to set the name that people will see on outgoing email. In this case, we will simply correct the capitalization. We do want to leave this treat as an alias checked. We'll now click Next Step. We now have to set up the outgoing server information for this email address. In this case, mail.cyvon.com is the correct SMTP server. The port 587 is also correct. The username, however, is not. The username is your full CyVon email address. The password will be your CyVon email password. We do want to leave this secured connection using TLS selected. And now we will click Add Account. Now we have the confirmation window. What this is saying is that an email was sent to the CyVon email address, and it would like us to verify that we indeed own that email address. At this point, we can click Close Window, and we'll verify that later. In order to verify that email address, we will switch back over to the CyVon Webmail tab. It may take a few minutes to receive the Gmail confirmation. In this case, we've already received it. It is this first message that you see. We will double click on that message and then click on this long link to confirm that this is indeed our email. We will then click the Confirm button. We can now close this tab, and we can also close the webmail system. We are now back to Gmail. If we click the inbox, we will now see the email that was in the CyVon webmail system is now in Gmail. That's 2 test messages and the confirmation that we've already handled. We now have one more setting to set. So we'll click this Settings gear again and choose Settings. Again, we will go to the Accounts and Import tab. When you send an email, typically you want it sent as your custom name. In this case, bob@cost-copy.com. So what we're going to do is click Make Default. What that means is that when you send an email from Gmail, by default, it will come from bob@cost-copy.com instead of your Gmail address, bobsomebody744@gmail.com. The last setting that we want to look at is this when replying to a message. If you have multiple accounts linked to Gmail, then you probably want this first option, which is reply from the same address the message was sent to. What that means is if somebody sends you an email, it will always reply and show as from whatever address they sent it to. However, if you only have one email address linked, then you probably want the one that is selected by default, which is always reply from default address. And in this case, bob@cost-copy.com. What that means is that if somebody sends an email to either bobsomebody744@gmail.com or bob@cost-copy.com, and you reply, it will always show as from bob@cost-copy.com. At this point, we can now click on our inbox and begin to use Gmail with our custom name. That concludes the instructions for linking Gmail to a CyVon email address. Thank you and have a great day.